Welcome to OsteoBites, everybody. Today is a so great day on OsteoBites because we get to speak with 4 of our junior board members on topics that they chose to speak about.
Hi, my name is Skrubis. I'm 20 years old from upstate New York. I was diagnosed in January of 2020. I had a left above the knee amputation and I just finished immunotherapy. I'm both honored and excited to be speaking to you all on behalf of MIB Agents on things I wish I knew before treatment. I wanted to preface my presentation by saying that not all of these wishes I will explain would be true for every individual. Everyone's experience is unique, and my hope today is to help inform anyone looking for support or how to support a friend with some suggestions from a survivor. There are many more points I would have touched on, but for the sake of my time period, I chose the most important ones to me personally. Before I start my presentation, I thought it would be best to introduce myself and my experience as it plays a large role of who I am today. My name is Skrubis. I'm 20 years old and I'm from Ithaca, New York. I love dancing, art, fashion, and studying in college. In January of 2020, months before the pandemic hit, I was diagnosed with osteosarcoma in my left tibia. This came from a 3-month misdiagnosis of a knee sprain. I was 18, a freshman dance major at the time, with dreams of being a ballerina. I endured 9 months of, as we all know, harsh chemotherapy and opted to have a left above the knee amputation. I finished chemotherapy in September of 2020 and then did 8 months of immunotherapy. I completed 48 doses of immunotherapy less than a month ago. Life for me now consists of giving back in the ways that I can, advocating to end all childhood cancers, and studying psychology and health and human services in college with hopes of becoming a certified child life specialist. I serve on the junior board in MIB and I'm grateful to be part of such an amazing organization speaking to you all today. Today, I wanted to focus on a question I often ask myself: what do I wish I knew before starting treatment? I've broken this down into 3 sections: mental health, physical health, and of course, MIB agents. Feel free to stop me at any time for questions, leave them in the chat, or there will be a Q&A at the end. And of course, if there's anything I did not cover today, feel free to mention it, as all suggestions are valued. I took this picture near the end of my treatment. I remember the only reason why I took it was because I was so astonished I looked the way I did, and honestly, I did not like the way I looked. My mental health was affected far more than I thought it would pre-treatment. What I needed to hear was that I did not owe anything to anyone. I did not owe an apology no matter the guilt I felt. I did not owe a text back when I couldn't muster up the energy to respond. And the most important to me, I did not owe it to anyone, even myself, to pretend to be okay. You are allowed to have the feelings you have. Going off of that, if you're having a bad day, a bad week, whatever it is okay to ask for help. There is no shame going on medication to help psychologically. There is no shame in therapy, and there is no shame in just a good cry. Healing is not linear. It takes work, but it is okay to have days where you just don't want to work on it. With this came the mentality that really helped me once I adopted it. Take it one day at a time. When that becomes too hard, take it an hour at a time, and so on. Sometimes the only thing I could really focus on was the now, and that really helped me through. And as a last point, everyone's journey is different. I did not realize that just because someone had the same cancer as me, their life could go in a completely different path. Comparing myself to others did not help me, but reminding myself that everyone is different pushed me through. Moving on to physically, I felt like I could have benefited if I had heard that it is important to ask questions, have different opinions, and if you're able to, have an advocate there for you. There are many different medications, different treatments, different surgeries out there, and the best way to learn is to ask. Having a support or advocate there for you can ensure that you're getting what you need on those days you just can't build up the energy to do it yourself. We're all humans, even doctors, and mistakes can happen, so asking questions and getting second opinions is a big one for me. MIB was a great service to me during treatment, encouraging me to see a sarcoma specialist, something I had not thought about before. My first round of chemo was tough. I didn't have a set plan in place for what meds I would take when, but as soon as I did, it got a bit easier. I studied the meds available to me and came up with a personalized nausea plan. I ended up taking every nausea medicine possible, and that was okay. It is what got me through. And lastly, set goals. I started to set goals for myself throughout treatment, and it gave me some sort of structure. Some days, those goals were as simple as brushing my teeth, and other days it was to do PT. Goals made me feel like I was progressing, even on the days it was hard for me to see or feel that. And so we're on to our favorite organization, MIB Agents. I wish I had known about MIB Agents. So many things to say about that statement. I started to get support through MIB around halfway through my treatments. Just a click to their website, you can see support through programs, patient and caregivers, bereaved parents, physicians, researchers, and more. They have lots of support geared towards patients themselves, including ambassador agents, gaming agents, prayer requests, warrior mails, a book, Osteosarcoma from Our Family to Yours, and more. I was paired up with an ambassador agent that made me feel less lonely, being the only individual on my unit with osteosarcoma. In so many ways have they supported me, and being there to talk to you has been so great. I would encourage you all to tell your local hospitals about MIB, spread the word, just because you never know who might need this useful information and support and get it just at the right time. MIB Agents has taught me that giving back can be healing. It took me some time to get to this point, but on the days that this disease makes me mad and angry, I am quickly comforted by the knowledge that my fellow junior board members and I are actively making it better every day. And I'll open it up to questions.
Kara, you so do make it better every day. Seriously. Everybody, if you don't know Kara, you need to know Kara. She has, if you're on TikTok, she's on as SKRUTHAT, and screw that, SKRUTHAT. Such good content on osteosarcoma and being a person with osteosarcoma. So good. Really grateful to have all of our junior board members as part of our leadership team. Kara brings her own special brand of magic, as each one does. Kara, can I ask you, so this is I'm going to ask you kind of a heavy question.
Yeah.
If you could give back the experience of having had osteosarcoma, would you?
I think if you would have asked me that question a couple months ago, I would have said yes, very selflessly. The more far out I am from treatment and the more I am learning about kids and their stories, the more I'm grateful for what I've gone through and what I can teach others, as well as now I feel like I have a true purpose in life to make it better for kids and to do something in the world.
One of the questions we got in advance was, what compelled you to continue in this space? I mean, it's hard. And I know this because when we take a group back to a hospital, or we're kind of in, we're back in the hospital space or in a treatment space again, or in a Ronald McDonald house and we're doing a video or something, I know I'm like, I'll walk in and just smell it and be like, and so we all have some PTSD around like just being in this space, even if it's not the physical space, just hearing somebody's story and remembering it's hard. How what astonishes me is the people like our junior board who chooses to go back into that space to serve others. It's not easy. It's particularly hard, in fact. Just washing your hands in a hospital and walking around with that smell of that soap on your hands and getting it near your face makes me want to, well, puts me right back in that space again. So how did you decide that giving back and being back in this space was for you?
I think for me, being treated in a pediatric hospital really had a lot of impact on me mentally. I was easily the oldest kid on the unit, and just seeing everyone else and their stories really hit me. I feel like for me, this is something that's kind of hard to forget. And the more I learn about how little funding, how little research there is, I just am really hit with the need of finding a cure and finding better treatments. And hopefully that's what we can work towards.
Okay, last question for you. Unless anybody has any questions, by the way, attendees, please write or type your questions in chat or in Q&A. In the meantime, another question we got was, did first-line treatment work for you?
So I finished chemotherapy, the MAP protocol in September of 2020. I do have good scans. Then I went on to immunotherapy just as a preventative treatment. So far, I have good scans. I have 3-month scans since I'm pretty new to being out of treatment, but hopefully it stays that way.
I hope so too. Okay, thanks so much, Kara. That was awesome. Thank you, thank you.